Hey, what's up guys? Justin with Tier 1 Tactical. Today I want to take a look at the Benchmade Luco. Is it Luco? Leiku? I'm just going to call it Luco. Anyway, like its predecessor, the Puko, this one also comes in the 3V. Has a satin finish with the Ranger Green Santoprene handles. The blade length is 5.19. The thickness is 0.14. Full length is 9.69 with a weight of 5.31 ounces. The handle thickness is 0.08 and the sheath weight supposedly is 3.04. Now, of course, that's going to vary a little bit, depending on the sheath. Not by much, but it will vary. The definition of Luco, anyway, the definition of that is big knife. Just like the Puko means little knife or small knife. I don't know the exact translation, but it just means big knife. Now, one thing that gets me about this knife is the handle. Now, with the Puko, the smaller version, obviously the handle felt really good with it. It's a much shorter blade, but for some reason, it just feels disproportionate to me. I think they could have added to the thickness. Maybe a little bit larger palm swell would be nice, but I don't know. That's just the way it feels in my hand. It, kind of feels like I'm holding a leaf spring, but I love Benchmade. I love Benchmade's products, but I think they kind of threw this knife together kind of as a big brother to the Puko, but all they did was increase the blade size, which, again, please, if they, Benchmade, if y'all ever decide to make another one of these or something in this category, please make the handle a little bit thicker, please. Like I said, it was fine on the Puko, but for that bigger blade, you kind of need a little bit bigger handle. Now, the sheath, honestly, could be a little bit better. I know it's a budget super steel, but the sheath is super thin, and this part squeaks so bad. I've put mink oil on this thing until I'm blue in the face, and whenever I walk, it just squeaks. It's kind of annoying. So I've been taking it off and just putting that on my belt. I gotta be honest, I haven't wore this thing very much. I haven't used it very much. I'm still it's still kind of growing on me, but right now I gotta say I'm not really a fan of this knife. But who's to say you're not? So kind of the point of my video is just talk about some of these little things that get me on it, and you never know, it might be the knife for you. You might have smaller hands or whatever, and this might fit comfortably in your hand, but to me it definitely needs to be a little thicker. But screw talking about it, let's go ahead and get into some cutting tasks. First, I'm gonna do a little bit of just light cutting, and probably make a couple tin steaks or something, and cut some fruit and do a little chopping with it, see what it can do. On that note, let's get to it. Alrighty, as you can see, I have a couple little things here that some of my favorite little things to test this edge retention out on, which we will start with the champion. Copper oven padding. Yeah, that shit will mess an edge up quick. Oh yeah, well, I can feel the difference already. Yeah, let's do this. It's cutting it, but oh yeah, definitely did a little bit of little damage to that blade. Now, it's still pretty sharp, but not like it was. This stuff really does a number on it too, so hence the reason I use it. Anyway, handled that pretty well. Really trying to use as much as the blade as I can. By the time I get to the food prep, I really want it to be as dull as possible. Which, it's getting there. Alright. It's not shaving sharp, but now I use solid oak. Well, it was solid. I use this seasoned oak a lot. Of course, there isn't going to be any feather sticking or anything like that with it. We need a much softer wood like a spruce or something like that. Notice my hand kind of climbing up the scales in the middle of my cutting tasks, which, well, I already busted a knuckle. I don't think that's from the knife though. Not really sure when that happened. I gotta admit, compared to the, she's pretty dull. Compared to the bull trout I used the other day, I think it was 154 cm. It's not really, yeah, it barely wants to even dig into this oak here. I'm not gonna lie. Which, the bull trout the other day went right through this shit. Good God. Yeah. I hate to say it, but that's a fail. I would literally have to chop into that. Now, this is the same wood that I used the bull trout on the other day, and you can just see the difference. I can't even get into it with this blade, not at all. Bull trout just went right into that thing. So what can I say? It's kind of blowing my mind here. That is 3V. That's insane. But anyway, honestly, I don't even think it's gonna handle the chopping test, which I had ready to go. I don't think it's gonna do anything to it, so I'm just gonna skip that test and then go straight into the food prep. Alrighty, I'm back. As you can see, I have a nice little roast sitting here. Also have a fresh pineapple, which it's actually becoming breakfast time, so that works out perfect. I have not sharpened this blade at all since the tent stake fail about 30 minutes ago, but it's still just blowing my mind that this little guy here completely ran laps around the big knife. It's insane. But however, she does still have somewhat of an edge. Now, I don't know why it wasn't digging in to the oak, even though it had an edge, but I do believe it has something to do with the geometry. But on that note, let's go ahead and make some cuts into this and see how it at least handles meat. Now, as you can see, no more blood. Got a pretty little green band-aid on. Honestly, I can feel it getting into the marbling. I gotta admit, I really want to like this knife, but it's failing, man. What else can I say? Like, I have to saw through that. Wow. Not good. not good at all, honestly. Again, I want to like this knife, but it's just not doing what it's supposed to do, honestly. Go ahead and clean this this cutting board off. I'm kind of at a loss for words here, guys. Let's go ahead and clean this cutting board off, and let's dig into this pineapple a little bit. Alrighty, I am back, and what an interesting turn of events we had this morning. Again, I really wanted to like this knife. I actually really like the Puko, but I don't know, it just doesn't perform like I wanted it to, I guess. I really wanted this thing to be something special, you know. I really wanted to be able to say, hey, look, it's a 3V knife for $140. But like that old saying goes, you get what you pay for. I mean, what can I say? Let's go ahead and dig into this pineapple. At least see if it can handle this after everything else. I'll plant that later. Of course, the length of the blade helps a lot. I mean, she's still somewhat sharp. She's not razor sharp, but she's definitely not seasoned oak sharp. Let's go ahead and put it like that. I still, honestly, I cannot get over the fact that this happened. I could not get into there. It's the same piece of wood that I did this with the other day. Oh yeah, see, takes it right off. I guess that just goes to show that edge geometry is everything. Whether that is the problem or not, you know, that's all I can think of. Anyway, let's finish this thing up. I'm getting really hungry. Seems to cut fruit pretty well. And that really sucks though. I mean, look, if it was sharp, it would have, I'm sure it would have handled that meat a lot better. But the fact that sometimes you can't sharpen your knife, sometimes you don't have the ability to, when you're out in a situation like that, maybe you forget your sharpener, or you just are new to this and don't own one, you'd be screwed. Well, go ahead and put this in here. You cannot beat fresh pineapple. Anyway, you guys get the idea. Again, I really wanted to like this knife. I can't stop saying that because I really did. But it's just not performing the way I want a knife to perform. So take that with a grain of salt, because what I like and what I use it for may not exactly be what you need it for. Or you know what I'm saying? Everybody uses their knives different, and for what I use my knives for, I gotta say, it's just not cutting it. On that note, I hope you guys liked the video. Go ahead and please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Anything you can do to help the channel will be much appreciated. I know I'm only a month old, but I have big things planned for the channel. Lots of nice, really nice knives and gear that I want to review, and yeah, hopefully they perform better than the Benchmade Luco. You know, it really sucks to say that, I will admit. I love Benchmade. I am a Benchmade fanboy, but to me this knife is a fail. Hurts to say that, it really does. But anyway, please subscribe now, like all that, like I just said, it'd be much appreciated. And stay safe out there. I'll see you guys on the next one.